I'm James Anstey, and as you can see from that footage there, I was recently lucky enough to go to Silverstone and drive a single-seater racing car. As a Formula 1 fan, this was just such an awesome experience, and just to get a small insight into kind of the feeling of driving something slightly similar to a Formula 1 car in the sense of its open cockpit and that kind of thing, and just to understand a little bit the levels of concentration that the drivers must have for an hour and a half every other weekend driving something that can go in excess of 200 miles an hour. It was such a cool experience, and I'm going to show you now kind of the whole day and give my thoughts on it throughout. I was pretty nervous on the day. Luckily we don't live too far away from Silverstone, so it was only a half an hour drive or so for us to get to the track. But when we got there, the butterflies certainly started to kick in. Mum and Dad came with me, and so did Bruna. It was nice that Mum and Dad came because this was a present from them for my 21st birthday, and at this point Bruna's there behind the camera just getting a few shots of what was going on. So getting there, the formalities, I had to kind of sign a few forms acknowledging the fact that if I crashed the car it was my fault, that kind of thing, which didn't really put my mind at ease to start with. And after a half an hour briefing, it was ready to get suited and booted.
James. You're Lewis Hamilton.
As soon as I put the helmet on, really, the whole thing became much more real. And yeah, before I knew it, I stood there with other drivers and put in one of the cars. It was quite strange because from a controls point of view, everything was the same apart from the gear stick, which was on the right hand side, and there was only 4 gears. So luckily I didn't stall it pulling away, and off we went out for some warm-up laps behind a pace car just to get a feel for the track and the car itself. And now back in the pits, time to do the real thing, no pace car. And yep, I forgot to put it in gear. But second time lucky. And then in front of everyone at the front of the queue, I stalled it. But finally, I get my act together, pull away, and get onto the track. Immediately, this is the first time, now not being behind the pace car, I could give it full throttle down the straight, and yeah, unfortunately you can't hear me in the helmet, but I was just absolutely shouting my head off just because of the adrenaline and kind of the feeling I was getting inside the car. It was amazing. So the track itself, the Stowe circuit, is quite a nice little track, as you can see, coming down round onto the long straight. This was really the first time I could experience how fast this thing could go. They say that they can go 145 miles per hour. I'm not convinced that on a straight like this we went that fast, and because there's no speedo, I'm not sure really how fast I did go in the end, but it felt very quick anyway. So I got settled into it and started to push the car a little bit more. This section here was really nice. Flowing corners, right, left, right again, and then left round, back onto the first main straight. Yeah, really nice set of corners, and got a bit sideways a few times, but it was really good to kind of see how fast I could go through there. So as I then carried on, I don't know if you can see now, but I started to catch a car in front of me. Now we were kind of talked through this in the briefing, and they said that what would happen is if you catch a car in front of you who's slower on the straights, it's their job to get out of the way, move over to the right hand side and let you through. We were kind of told a few scare stories of what would happen if you tried to pass on the right rather than the left, and an accident that had happened before about someone tried to pass on the right, 2 cars had collided and there'd been a big crash and someone had a smashed pelvis and all kinds of stuff. So it really highlighted the danger of passing another car if you don't do it properly. So I was quite cautious, but thought I'm close enough now that I'm sure he'll get given the blue flag. I'm really through the corners so much faster, and this marshal here on the corner does wave the blue flag to him, so I'm getting ready for the pass. Now, because obviously the cars all have the same engine, all is at the same speed, without him lifting off, moving over to the right, there was no way I was going to get through. So seeing him stay in the same position and not let me through was a bit annoying. But you know, I thought, okay, it's only half a lap that I'll be stuck behind him, and hopefully on the next straight he'll move over and let me by. So I thought, at least if I'm a lot closer to him this time, going through the last corner onto the straight, then I'll hopefully get a better run at him and make myself a bit more visible in his mirrors. So as you can see there, he's showing the blue flag again, and this time thankfully he does move over to the right hand side and allow me to make a pass and make an overtake and feel like a proper racing driver. But unfortunately, as these things sometimes go, you might be able to see behind me now, there's a guy who was much faster, right on my tail, and I was then shown the blue flag and had to let him through. So, you know, I by no means was the fastest out there, and starting at the front, it was always likely that I was going to get passed by someone unless I was the fastest. So I thought, well, I'll let this guy through, and fingers crossed, I can kind of look at his line through the corners, see where he brakes, and go a bit faster and try and keep up with him. This didn't happen. The only reason I can kind of keep up with him here is because then he's stuck behind somebody else, but he was so much faster than I was, and actually trying to keep up with him, I scared myself a little bit. Braking far too late in some of the corners. I got a bit confused here because some of the cars went into the pits, and I wasn't sure if it was game over, time to come in, but me and this other guy, we carried on, and not long now, a few more laps. Really, I thought, right, I'll push it as much as I can. Missed a few braking zones, and yeah, it got a bit twitchy sometimes, but I was really on the edge, which was so awesome to experience in a car like this. And as you can see now, the guy who was in front of me has just gone off into the distance, is nowhere to be seen, and I nearly get past again. Just been shown the checkered flag there. Realise it's the last lap, and yeah, I'm just now coming home to enjoy it. In these last few corners here, I really just wanted to take a moment to be grateful really about getting the opportunity to do this, and just appreciate what an awesome experience it was. I would highly recommend it if you can go and do this. It just absolutely gets the blood pumping and the adrenaline. It's really something else. So coming into the pits now, trying not to crash it, almost crash it into this car here, but thankfully just make it through to end what was an awesome day. And that's it. That was my single-seater driving experience at Silverstone. If you're still here at this point, thank you very much, and thank you for watching this video. My next video will be more of a standard video where I kind of talk a bit about who I am and what I want to do with this channel, and I'll try my best going forward to upload a video once a week, every Thursday. If you enjoyed this video today, please like and leave any feedback, and if you have done this yourself, let me know how you found it. And if you are thinking about doing it yourself and have got any other questions, then by all means ask me in the comments and I'll get back to you. Until next time, cheers.